live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now. A December Rockford murder case remains unsolved. New images could help land the victim's killer behind bars.
A Rockford area school mourns a sudden loss. Aquin assistant coach Adam Holder passed away unexpectedly last night. The school community gathers to remember him.
And a couple of LA Rams fans stuck in the state line will get to root their team on in California. Free tickets are a small thanks for a duo that's used to serving their community. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson. Rockford police want the public's help tracking down a person of interest.
It's related to a December murder. Investigators say this person could be involved. December 15th, officers were called to an apartment on South 2nd Street. That's where they found a 42-year-old man shot lying in the entryway of the building. He died shortly after. The victim has not been publicly identified. Witnesses told police they heard arguing outside a building nearby before shots rang out. If you know anything about this case, contact Rockford Police or Crime Stoppers.
A State Line Catholic school is mourning the loss of an assistant coach of its varsity girls basketball team.
Aquin's Adam Holder passed away during a game last night. School was canceled today and a mass was held in Holder's honor. Nikel Delgado was there. And Nikel, the Aquin community is in shock.
That's right, Eric and Mimi. Adam Holder was a father, a coach, and a role model. Those closest to him say he was an essential part in the Aquin schools.
He was someone who was always willing to help out, put his best foot forward, and apply himself to whatever we needed.
Students, friends, family, and the community gathered together today to remember Adam Holder. The girls' assistant varsity basketball coach for Aquin Catholic died after a medical emergency last night. Dominic DeMichael knew Coach Holder from his days at Aquin. He now works for the school and says he'll always remember Holder as someone who was willing to step up.
How involved he was with our community. I saw him everywhere, from junior high games to high school events, helping out with baseball, helping out with women's basketball.
DeMichael says Holder always had something to smile about. That was echoed at today's Mass as people reflected on their memories of the coach.
To heal and to come together and to start this long road to recovery. And overcoming this grief.
Others talked of his compassion, service, dedication. DeMichael tells me through more than a decade of coaching at Aquin, he's impacted so many lives and he will be missed.
That dedication to Aquin, that belonging, that kind of leading from the front, you know, not only being there when the plans are made, but seeing them through till the end. That's a lesson that will go a long, long way with me.
The schools has resources and counselors to help students through this difficult time. Holder's visitation is on Monday in Freeport, and his funeral is Tuesday morning at St. Thomas. Eric?
Thanks, Nikel. Rescuers form a human chain to save victims of a bridge collapse in Pittsburgh. Police say a few cars and a commuter bus were on the two-lane bridge when it gave way this morning. The collapse left the bus dangling from the damaged bridge. 10 people were hurt. 3 of them had to go to the hospital. Everyone is expected to survive. Pittsburgh's fire chief says several witnesses didn't hesitate to help first responders.
Technicians rappelled down using ropes to go down over the side. They helped the firefighters that were here initially on scene, also did like a daisy chain with hands, just grabbing people and pulling them up. So it was a physical rescue, most of them are.
That collapse happened just hours before President Biden was set to visit Pittsburgh to push his infrastructure bill. The $1 trillion plan includes bridge maintenance. The White House said about $5.5 billion will go out by summer. The president said the funds will allow states to bypass future bridge closures that impact everything from deliveries to school and work commutes to emergency response times.
They're going to fix them all. Not a joke. This is going to be a gigantic change, and there's 43,000 nationwide. And we're sending the money. And by the way, we're going to give you guys more money too, cops.
Administration officials say depending on how quickly states move, projects funded by the law should start later this year.
The gun Kyle Rittenhouse used to shoot 3 people during protests in Kenosha, Wisconsin will be destroyed. It's part of an agreement between prosecutors and Rittenhouse's lawyers. According to a motion filed by his attorneys, Rittenhouse wants his assault-style rifle destroyed so it won't be used as a political symbol or trophy celebrating the shootings. A state crime lab will destroy the gun in the coming months. Its destruction comes just months after a jury cleared Rittenhouse on multiple charges, including homicide.
2 advocates for local children will help keep kids on a larger scale. Judge Donna Hansel and Taryn Marco were selected by Winnebago County Juvenile Justice Council leadership roles. The council raises awareness for and aims to keep kids out of the juvenile justice system. The leaders will serve a 2-year term. The council was formed at the end of last year and is projected to grow in 2022.
A State Line frontline worker gets to live out a lifelong dream this weekend. Alex Ham is a perinatal educator with OSF. She and her husband are longtime Los Angeles Rams fans, and if you follow football, you know the Rams are playing in the NFL Championship Sunday. Alex was handpicked by Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford's wife, Kelly, to attend the game. Alex was one of 12,000 entries into a contest, and she won.
I couldn't breathe. I was like, Kelly Stafford, send me tickets. Kelly Stafford picked me. And my one manager was like, I don't even know what that means. And I was like, I can't breathe. We got tickets. Like, if they win this game, they go to the Super Bowl.
Breathe, Alex, breathe. Alex says Kelly Stafford thanked the healthcare worker and her husband, who is a veteran, for their service.
Rockford Region Restaurant Week is in full swing, and if you haven't taken part in the event yet, maybe check it out this weekend. Tomorrow is the North End Hot Chocolate Crawl. Businesses along North Main Street will offer unique spins on the wintertime treat. There will also be special deals and prizes for shoppers to cash in on. Small business owners say they're looking forward to the economic boost.
You can stop and get specialty hot chocolate all up the way, and we want everyone to be succeeding right now. Every small restaurant that's doing well is a success for everybody.
You can find a full list of businesses involved with the Hot Chocolate Crawl by using the My State Line app.
Your generosity means local men and women will have a chance to build a better life. Last night's An Evening for Hope telethon raised more than $128,000 for Rockford Rescue Mission. That far surpassed our goal of $110,000. We could not have done it without your help. Thank you for taking part.
U.S. troops remain on high alert as the West monitors the situation in Ukraine.
After the break, Pentagon officials make it clear where the country stands with NATO.
And area hospitals continue to deal with bed shortages. That creates big challenges for rural centers with very sick patients. Hear from those in the thick of the struggles tonight at 6.
And our temperatures remain in the teens for this afternoon, but we have some warmth on the way after some bitter cold tonight. Stay tuned for the details coming up in just a few minutes.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team with Eric Wilson, Mimi Murphy, Scott Lever, and meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
The Pentagon provides an update on what the U.S. military is doing to prepare for a Russian invasion of Ukraine.
Washington correspondent Alexandra Limon has details on what U.S. troops will and won't do if that conflict intensifies. Eyewitness News is keeping you connected to the nation's capital.
The president's been real clear that he does not intend to put combat troops into Ukraine.
Still, thousands of troops based here in the U.S. remain on heightened alert this week, ready to deploy to Europe to support America's NATO allies.
Ukraine has a border with 4 NATO members: Poland, Slovakia, Hungary, and Romania.
Pentagon officials said U.S. troops are committed to defending those NATO allies if necessary. And the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, General Mark Milley, says while Ukraine is not a member of NATO,
Ukraine has the right to be independent.
And the U.S. is actively assisting the Ukrainian military.
We continue to provide military material support to Ukraine, along with many other countries from NATO.
General Milley says the U.S. is providing money and weapons to Ukraine, and a few hundred U.S. troops are in Ukraine providing assistance, training, and advice to the Ukrainian military.
If Russia chooses to invade Ukraine, it will not be cost-free. in terms of casualties or other significant effects.
The military leader stressed it's not too late to avoid a conflict and turn to diplomacy, but say it's their job to prepare for any scenario. In Washington, Alexandra Limon.
Much colder temperatures here at home this afternoon.
And we are going to drop below zero again tonight. When we come back, Jordan Wolf tells us what to expect for the weekend.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
Well, with all the sunshine that we had today, we would have thought that temperatures and wind chills would maybe be a little bit on the warmer side, but actually we're seeing very cold wind chills right now, still in the single digits or below zero across much of our viewing area right now. So definitely seeing that chill return after that quick break we had yesterday with temperatures in the 30s. Temperatures right now still are on the cooler side, 16 here in Rockford, 11 in DeKalb. Still sitting in the teens or just below that across the viewing area. They will drop even further for the overnight. We'll see temperatures below zero for our overnight low. Weather watcher Bob here reported a temperature of 15 degrees and a dew point of 2, so we're definitely seeing that drier air. That's going to play a factor in how quickly the temperature drops off tonight. But the good news, warmer temperatures are on the way with all of this warmer air that will be moving into the area over the next coming days with the development of an upper level ridge. Now, we did see those clearer and calmer conditions here today. This is a look at our Mercy Health SkyTrack camera of the airport out there. We did see much nicer conditions and sunnier skies as well. We had some lake effect snow showers off towards Chicago. A couple of those moved through southern DeKalb and Lee counties, but we only saw much of the sunshine for most of the viewing area. Now, Futurecast is showing some cloud cover moving in here into the evening hours. That'll keep the temperatures a little bit warmer than they otherwise would be if there was no cloud cover. Temperatures drop off near zero or below zero. I do think that this model is just a little bit on the warmer side. I think most of us will see temperatures below zero for the morning lows. But luckily tomorrow, with the cloud cover working its way back in, we work our way back up into the 20s. A little bit warmer than what we had today, just in the upper teens. That cloud cover does stay through the area through Sunday morning as well. Here's our Futurecast wind chills playing a factor once again. We'll drop well below zero for many locations. Some locations out to the north and the west might even push negative 15 or negative 20. That's below zero. Very cold wind chills can cause frostbite in around 30 minutes or so. So definitely want to bundle up for tomorrow morning. We do see those wind chills still playing a factor by the time that we get to 8 a.m. and even into the afternoon. We still stay into the teens for those wind chills, even though temperatures will be a little bit warmer in the 20s. So we'll definitely want to layer up for the evening and the morning tomorrow with those colder wind chills that we'll be dealing with. Tonight here in Rockford, I think we get below zero, down to negative 2. We'll just see a little bit of cloud cover working its way in. Depending on how much cloud cover we get, we'll keep our temperatures a little bit warmer than that. We'll see how that ends up for the evening tonight, but definitely some very cold wind chills for the early part of the morning. Luckily, we work all the way back up into the 20s for the day tomorrow, and then we have some warming ahead. 18 for today, 24, 27, 35. Working our way up above average for the next coming days after that, but the cold does return 6 to 10 days out. The Climate Prediction Center has forecasted below average temperatures to return beyond the 7-day forecast. But again, we do see those temperatures warming up over the coming days. And we have a winter storm potentially that could move through. We see winter impacts of that. We'll keep an eye on that track in the coming days, as this is still 4 days out, but definitely something to keep an eye on as we push into the later part of the week. And then temperatures really drop back down toward next weekend.
Yeah, that is a big fall from the beginning of the week. Jordan, thanks.
Scott's in next to talk sports.
He had a rough week with his NFL playoff picks last weekend, but he's ready to bounce back. He'll tell us which teams he projects will go to the Super Bowl.
Now sports with sports director Scott Leber.
It is truly Super Bowl or bust this weekend for the 4 NFL teams remaining in the playoffs. Tom Brady won't get his 8th ring. Aaron Rodgers won't get a 2nd one. Josh Allen and Derrick Henry are now spectators. So which 2 teams will wind up in Los Angeles in 2 weeks for the big game? I didn't do so hot last week with my picks. I went 1-3, losing 3 games on, of course, 3 game-ending plays. The one game I got right was I had the Rams beating the Buccaneers by 3 points, which is precisely what happened. But the Buccaneers, Titans, and Bills let me down. Although it wasn't so much the Bills letting me down as a coin flip let me down. Thanks to a strong first round, though, I'm still above water in the postseason with a 6-4 overall record. So let's start with the AFC Championship game in Kansas City. The Bengals and the Chiefs. This is the makings of another shootout like we saw between the Bills and the Chiefs. Two dynamite offenses and so-so defenses. If the world doesn't appreciate the talents of Joe Burrow yet, it should after this game. He'll put points on the board with the best receiving core in the league and Joe Mixon. But Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill should have a field day against the Bengals defense, which is several notches worse than the Bills defense. I love what the Bengals have built and where they're headed, but after this game, they're headed back to Cincinnati, not Los Angeles. It'll be the Chiefs returning to the Super Bowl with a 42-31 win. In the NFC, it's the 49ers and the Rams. Will the Niners capitalize on their win over the Packers? They beat the Rams twice head-to-head in the regular season. The Rams had 4 turnovers in those 2 games. We saw the Rams meltdown last week with late turnovers and almost blow their game to the Buccaneers. The Rams' biggest opponent is themselves. They cannot give the football away. And it's time for Matthew Stafford to step up. In the past, he could always blame his failures on the Detroit Lions, but now he has a loaded team to work with. I love the 49ers' heart and the coaching acumen of Kyle Shanahan. I'm not enamored with Jimmy Garoppolo. He has to be smart and quick in getting rid of the football against the Rams' pass rush. And his best offensive lineman, Trent Williams, is questionable for the game. Deebo Samuel holds the key to the Niners' offense, and we saw him get banged up against the Packers last week. He has to be at full speed. And the best thing the Niners have going for them is Robbie Gould. I think Gould will boot 4 field goals Sunday. But that'll be all the points the 49ers will generate against the Rams. I'm taking the Rams 24-12. Just don't turn the ball over, Rams. That's my take. We'll be right back.
Jordan will have another look at the forecast in just a moment.
First, here's a quick News Nation preview.
Legendary sportscaster Bob Costas joins me tonight while I'll start the interview with an apology. And wait till you hear about what he thinks of the Winter Games in Beijing. That's On Balance. Here's Dan Abrams.
Thanks, Leland. Tonight on Dan Abrams Live on News Nation. A growing number of big cities, restaurants, and venues just now requiring proof of the COVID vaccine. But why now? The current data shows the vaccine doesn't help reduce the spread of Omicron. That's tonight on Dan Abrams Live.
That's what's planned for the fastest growing cable news network in America. Watch News Nation on the cable and satellite stations you see here. You can also try newsnation.com.
Jordan's back with another look at that forecast. You know, at least it was sunny today. It was cold, though.
Right. No, we did have the sunshine, but that really didn't help our temperatures out. We saw that sunshine, just some lake effect snow showers toward the south and east on our first warn interactive radar from Rockford Auto Glass. Through the weekend and the early part of next week, we get a warming trend. We warm just a couple of degrees each day into Tuesday, and potentially a weather system that could bring us right back down heading in towards next weekend, something that we'll keep an eye on here into the week. Much colder. Look at that, 8 degrees for next Friday.
All right, thanks, Jordan.
Can't miss that. And thank you for spending some time with us. Stay safe.